spotlight on Don Lulu at 39, a life dedicated to service of humanity, philanthropy, and human capital development, as written by Uche Agworo.
Still on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. Glad to know that you are still here. That was the spotlight on Mayor Lucky Ibokwe, also known as Don Lulu. I've been reading out some felicitations for him by a lot of people whose lives he've touched. But I have two gentlemen in the studio with me today that will help, still buttress my points. Right? Not like my point, but they will just help me talk about the man a little bit further. He's celebrating his birthday today, being the 27th day in the month of June 2020. I'm talking about Mayor Lucky Ibokwe, also known as Don Lulu. And from what we've heard from the spotlight, he is a philanthropist and he is also a magnate in the entertainment industry. He owns the Two Flame record label. His last year's birthday celebration, he had a couple of projects that he completed, or I don't know, but due to his philanthropy and all that, he's known for doing something for the less privileged, I must say. But then, as a result of the pandemic, he's stuck somewhere. He couldn't be with us here today, but we have his representatives in the studio this morning to help us talk about what he's up to. Is he going to do anything irrespective of what is going on? Anyway, I have Mr. Uche Agworo in the studio. Mr. Uche, good morning to you.
Good morning, lovely lady.
Glad to have you in the studio today.
My pleasure.
All right. I love your face shield, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. That's the system we're in now.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're keeping safe. You're not taking any chances.
Oh, yes.
You don't just want to wear face mask. You just want to cover the entire place.
I must be covered. Even with the blood of Jesus too.
Most definitely. We're taking no prisoners this year. Glad to have you, Mr. Uche. And Mr. Kingsley Melguara is also in the studio with me. Good morning to you, Mr. Kingsley.
Good morning. Good morning.
Glad to have you.
I'm very happy to be here.
The Mayor Lucky Ibokwe's men, they are live in the studio.
Yes, so he's a fellow Ohunhu man,
okay,
a true-born UMUAHIA man, a grade A Abia man, and that is why we are here to say thank you to God for keeping him this long. 39 years and just starting.
Ooh, when I heard Don Lulu, I was thinking he should be in his 60s or probably 70s, given his achievements and what I read from the social request cards. But apparently, he's a young man who has achieved a lot for himself. He's a philanthropist. Can we look at that area of his life? What inspired him to get into, philanthropy? And what has he achieved so far?
In philanthropy, it's something that is innate. It's not a question of being inspired. Nobody inspires you into philanthropy. You have to be born into it, for you to actually get into philanthropy. If you look at the age of this young man at 39, and then look at what he's done so far, you see, I think we even started keeping records, at a certain point. He's started way back, because that foundation, as I know, is 10 years old before it was even brought to the public for launch, So this young man has done quite a lot in the area of human capital development, before even entering into all this building of houses for people, because as at 2018 birthday, he built 3 houses for those who don't have a shelter over there, or befitting shelter over there. Built and furnished 3 houses and gave out. The same day that foundation was launched by Senator T.A. Oji, former governor of the state. When he came and promised to build in the name of the foundation, because of Don Lulu, he promised to build a primary school in the school located in his own village. Everybody was there that day. It was a very big affair. The cream de la cream of the Nigerian entertainment industry was in UMUAHIA on for that very event, and it was something else, you know.
Okay, before we get to the entertainment part of the interview, what is the name of his foundation and what exactly are they known for, so we put things in perspective?
Yes, the foundation is known as the Don Lulu Foundation, and they are, first and foremost, they are into human capital development. You know, they are into education. They also they are into also some humanitarian services. That's basically what they are into. You know, like in the area of human capital development, the foundation has been able, as I speak with you now, the only thing that's holding is this pandemic. You know, they have been able to train about 14 guys in different skills. 14 people in the people you can even classify as unemployable. They have been trained in different skills, and they are going to benefit from that revolving loan of 40 million naira that was presented. So it's just because of this pandemic. If you had been around, you know, this period, because if this thing had been, if I thought that the lockdown had been eased internationally, we would have been here so as to empower those who are already trained, you know, by the foundation.
Okay, so what you're saying is beneficiaries of his foundation.
Of his foundation, yes.
Okay.
In the area of human capital development.
Okay, they've
skill acquisition.
They've acquired the skills.
Yes,
but
yes.
as a result of the pandemic, he's somehow stuck in the US.
It was scheduled to happen
before the
by
lockdown
sometime
commenced.
this year, before the lockdown commenced.
Okay, so hopefully by the time the lockdown is eased, he's expected to come and
definitely.
Okay, so that's about that on the philanthropy side of Mayor Lucky Ibokwe, also known as Don Lulu. And just like I had said initially, he is also a force to reckon with in the entertainment industry. He owns a record label known as Two Flame, right? So let us look at that aspect of his life. And let me ask Mr. Kingsley Megwara, can you throw more light on the entertainment part of this young man we're talking about?
Well, I will let our brother Mr. Agoro do a little more of educating our listeners about what Don Lulu has done in the areas of the entertainment industry. Okay. But my sister, I'm simply here to talk about this man who's done extremely very well in our community. We are from Mohoho, and whenever you see progress, whenever you see a young person trying to help, you are encouraged by it. Be it the Don Lulu Foundation, be it the Konak Foundation, when you see individuals making a difference, it's a whole lot. Don Lulu is not a politician. He's simply somebody who is coming on to help. Don Lulu is not looking to run for office. He just wants to make life better. When I watch the likes of Mr. Chinomso Ikedichi go into a new home built by Don Lulu, I am impressed. When I watch Mr. Obioma Chijoke and his family go into a new home built by Don Lulu, I am impressed. And when I watch Mr. Ikemba Ogo and the family go into these homes, I am very, very impressed. Don Lulu at 39 has done extremely very well in Ohoho land, and that is why I am here as an elder statesman from Ohoho to say thank you to Don Lulu and asking God Almighty to give him many, 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 many more years of youthful life. You see, there is a distinction between having and having the heart to give. I think the likes of Don Lulu and the likes of Don Lulu are scattered all over our state. From Arochukwu to Okwa West, you see young men and women doing something that makes a difference. Most times, those of you in the media are always talking about the negative part of things, and that's the one that gets the airtime. But today, we are simply here to accentuate the positiveness in Don Lulu and what he has done. Don Lulu picks up school fees for kids who otherwise will not be able to go to school. Don Lulu will do very uncommon things, and that is why I have decided to come here to tell the world about this 39-year-old young man who is, by the way, just starting. Don Lulu has done extremely very well for not just the Ohoho people, not just the UMUAHIA people, but to be reckoned with in Abia State.
All right, thank you so much for that, Mr. Kingsley Megwara. And back to you, Mr. Uche Aguro. Can we take a look at the entertainment side of Don Lulu?
Yes, Don Lulu entertainment and is his life in the entertainment industry is one that is full of adventures. Before I go further, I wanted to be of note that Don Lulu is the first person that held a major concert that attracted frontline musicians in Nigeria to Abia State. I think that concert was sometime in 2017 or 16 or thereabout. So no, way before then. I think that should be around the 2012. 13.
Yes.
Sometime then. He held a concert here that attracted the likes of Two-Face Idibia, that attracted the likes of P Square, that attracted the likes of name the musician. They were all here in UMUAHIA. The governor was there. The then governor, Senator Georgie, was there alive. His wife was there. The president speaker was there. The present governor today was also there at the venue of that district. Whoever that is what is onions in Abia State, politically and in the whole nation, was there in NYA for that event. Don Lulu also, as a young man, one thing he has done. Most of the artists in the record label are people he picked from the streets. Most of the artists in his record label are people who he picked from the streets, transform their raw talent, brush them up, fine-tune them, and now today they are made artists. You understand? So even when we start talking about Don Lulu and the entertainment industry, it's a name. That the Two Flame Entertainment Limited is a very big name. It's a very big name in the entertainment world, which has produced several artists like Sinach, Medley, so many musicians that has been produced under that label, which I cannot even start to really offer now. But one interesting thing about this young man is that at his age, he sees a talent, a raw talent on the street, picks it up, brush it up, and turn it into gold. That's one interesting thing about Two Flame Entertainment Limited, owned by Don Lulu. Which other artists, other entertainment industries will wait for you to, showcase your this thing before they will now. But he on this will pick you up, brush you up, and then allow you to yourself.
Project you. All right, thank you so much for that. We've established two facts here today: that he is a philanthropist and also a force to reckon with in the entertainment industry. Today is 27th day in the month of June, and today happens to be his birthday. Now, let's take a look at what his birthday celebration was like last year. Apparently, he is known for, his philanthropy, and he also goes extra mile to make sure that he helps people out during his birthday. So what is going to be different this particular year, given the fact that he is not in town?
Okay. First of all, there's something that is very, very remarkable in this year's birthday. Don Lulu said to me, he said, Uche, I want to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich in the society. And how do I do it? It's through education. Now, what does he want to do? We all can attest to the fact that there's no public school in Abia State that has computers, that has a computer laboratory. There's no public school in Abia State. I doubt if one exists for now, unless you have to, maybe Chief, you have to tell me if there's one anywhere. But as you speak now, Don Lulu is set to equip, if not for this pandemic, all the equipment would have been down here. All the computers will be everything that was supposed to be set up, a standard computer laboratory in UMUAHIA Primary School, so that the average child, the poor child that goes to a public school, will have access to computers and have access to standard modern day education. You know that today, in today's world, it's no longer about Obi is a boy, John is a girl, John is a kotonkwa, Mary is a batonkwa that we used to do in those days when we went to school. Today, it is a school that every child, every little child needs to punch up the button. You have access to any information you want in the world and modern access to it. So this year's birthday is very remarkable in the sense that it's not only that so many people who are already trained would have been empowered by now, that he is equipping a public school with standard computers, with modern computers, so as to empower the children from their early age through modern education.
All right. Having said that, can we take a look at Don Lulu's background? Right. Since we've talked about him as a philanthropist, as a record label owner, I think people out there should be concerned about where exactly is he from. Something must have inspired him to do what he's doing. Probably his background. He had a humble beginning or otherwise. Where is he from? He is born into a family of how many people? What exactly does he do?
Well, before I answer that question, let me help my brother, Mr. Guru, say a little bit about what this year's birthday for Don Lulu would have been. Lucky Ibokwe believes in giving. Very recently, over 400 bags of rice was given to the community, the whole of home, to help with the palliative because of the ongoing crisis we have with the coronavirus. The fact that Lucky is still stranded in the United States because of the inability to move didn't stop him from doing for people. And about 50 recipients of his cash palliatives I'm very, very much aware of. You see, my sister, the likes of Lucky Ibokwe is everywhere in our community, and that is the reason why I am here today. The likes of Lucky Ibokwe can be found everywhere. That young man in Okwa who is helping the widows, that young man in UMUAHIA who is quietly helping those who cannot go to school. Those are the kinds of characters that we need to continue to blow these trumpets. Most of the times, 99% of the time, we talk about ourselves, the politicians. But there are simple, quiet achievers out there in Abia State that we need to compliment from time to time. And I think that Lucky Ibokwe belongs to that class, and that's why we are here to celebrate him. I have opined in the past that when the proper history of our people, the people of Ohonho, by the way, whom you want to know, when the proper history of Ohonho people is written, the annals of that history will be replete with the accomplishments of quiet achievers like Mr. Lucky Ibokwe. Yes, you hear the big names like Dr. Emma Yokbara. Of course, you hear the name of Chief Onyem Mogochukwu. But very quietly, you will see in one page or two, those of us who are reading between the lines, Lucky Ibokwe must be mentioned because of the quiet things he does for the community. Lucky hails from UMUAHIA, very proud community, and like every other young man, attended polytechnics to the best of my knowledge and was brushed up in school. But it is more. It's not so much about how many degrees that Lucky is flaunting. It is not so much about anything about Lucky Ibokwe. It's about the humanity in Lucky Ibokwe. It's about the little things he's been able to do that is making a difference. And the reason why we are blowing this trumpet is we want to make sure that the likes of Lucky Ibokwe from Okwa all the way to Arochukwu, talk about them sometimes. Talk less of the politicians and talk more of the simple men and women who are making a difference in Abia State.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley Megwara. So apparently Mr. Lucky Ibokwe is from Ohonho here in Abia State, even though he resides in the US, and he is a philanthropist and owns a foundation known as Don Lulu's Foundation, and he is also the record label owner, the Two Flame record label owner, right? So we have been trying to get across to Don Lulu, but for the meantime, Medley is an artist signed to the record label. So she has a song titled Story Don't Change, even though she's had Peruzzi featured on one of her tracks. That's to tell you, how far these artists have gone. But I enjoyed the song by Medley. It is titled Story Don't Change. We'll be right back in a moment.
Black Beats. You can call me Medley, and you already know. To flame ENT, from grass to grace, oh. My life don't change, eh. Back in the days, oh. They don't miss a guy, you know go blue. Now I they enter the first class. As you see me, so I know they carry last. Plenty money there too, they change cast. I'm living my life, I'm a superstar. As Don Lulu sign me, my story change. Everybody wanna know medley. See, I getting money now, I get the house. Plenty blessings in abundance. So Don Lulu sign me, my story change. Everybody wanna know medley. See, I getting money now, I get the house. I'm a two-flame representer. Pretty Baba for me. Oh ga ga ga, oh da da da. Got T Baba for me. Oh ga ga ga.
Don't Change by Medley, an artist signed to Two Flame Records, owned by the man we are talking about, Don Lulu. So we have Don Lulu on the line, reaching us all the way from the United States of America. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Long man in Dabia.
Good morning to you. Glad to have you on the line.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yeah, and happy birthday to you too.
Doing?
We are good, very
Thank
well.
You.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you on the line.
Thank you.
So today happens to be your birthday, and we've established some facts about you. Being a philanthropist, you own a record label, and also I have Mr. Uche Agoru and Mr. Kingsley in the studio with me, who've spoken extensively in these areas. But I'd love you to reiterate, on some of these facts. You being a philanthropist, you being a record label owner. Let me hear from the horse's mouth, or let us hear from the horse's mouth. What inspired you into philanthropy and being a record label owner?
Actually, I've loved music right from when I was born, because my parents, they love music. As a child or a baby, all the time, repeatedly, you keep hearing sounds. Definitely, that will influence you. And apart from that, a record label is about creativity, discovering people, and making them is still a kind of humanitarian. When somebody is talented, he doesn't have anybody to help to expose him to the world. Yeah, so that's part of our job. Talent hunt. We are helping them to become what their dream is.
All right, thank you so much for that. Today is your birthday, and do you have anything in the pipeline? What are your plans, coupled with the fact that you were supposed to be here, but as a result of the pandemic, you're stuck in the US. So do you have any plans whatsoever?
Yes, I have plans. I have already shipped down the modern computers I wanted to equip with to the new school. You heard about the new classroom that Synergy built for my community. So it's part of my movement to equip it, which I had already set down the computers before the pandemic. It's already in plan. Most of the things we're doing is not just by accident. These are the things that we already planned to do for the community and mankind. Aside that, there's been a revolving loan that already released during the foundation launch to help the artisans, the widows, and the youths through skill acquisition to support them, those selling that doesn't have money to sell their product, to start business. We give them loan without any interest, which is a free interest revolving loan to help them, to cater for their family.
All right.
By supporting their businesses.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, it was brought to our understanding that you had organized a concert sometime in 2012, 2013 here in Abia State. Do you still have any plans of, repeating the same gesture? Maybe
Definitely.
If eventually this whole COVID-19 blows over. Do you have any plans of hosting another concert?
Yes, definitely. Even before the COVID-19, we were planning to put up a concert for Easter, which we already made plans for before the ugly incident of COVID-19. pandemic.
All right.
But definitely, after everything, we're still going to put up some. It's something we're into, and it's my hobby. You understand? Entertainment is my hobby. Helping people is my hobby. I feel joy. I feel pleasure. I feel great anytime I lend a helping hand to the needy. It's just my thing.
All right, Don Lulu, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Actually, the call woke me up. You guys just caught me unaware.
All right, so sorry about that. And we wish you a very happy
That's
birthday.
okay.
Wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
All right, Don Lulu, I'd
Thank
have
you
to
very
let
much.
you go. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
All right, that was Don Lulu, the man whose birthday is today and the man that we've been talking about. I still have Mr. Uche Agoro and Mr. Kingsley Mewara in the studio, and at this point in time, they'll be signing out because we have done our time. So thank you so much, Mr. Uche, for coming through.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful day, a wonderful time out in your studio, and thank you for the work.
All right. And Mr. Kingsley, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much, and want to tell our audience, please, this pandemic is real. The pandemic doesn't know a rich man or a poor man, a woman or a man. Let us stay safe, practice social distancing, and wash your hands very more often. Thank you, and God bless Abia State.
Why do I have a feeling, Mr. Kingsley, you should have been a journalist?
No. Thank you very much.
Is he a communicator?
All right, he is. He actually do communicates well. Thank you so much for coming through. I really do appreciate. Keep it steady on the dial, Flow 94.9.
Spotlight on Don Lulu at 39, a life dedicated to service of humanity, philanthropy, and human capital development, as written by Uche Agoro.
The name Mayor Lucky Ibokwe, otherwise known as Don Lulu, MOP, evokes philanthropy, kindness, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. Drawing a quote from Don Lulu, "We cannot stand by and pretend the problem doesn't exist. This is our world and our opportunity to change it. We only get one life to make a difference. We either leave this world better, unchanged, or worse off than when we arrived. As for me, I have chosen to make a difference." Unquote. Don Lulu, as he is fondly called by all, was born on the 27th of June 1981. He went into the entertainment industry as a music promoter at an early age, and that move saw him establishing a recording company known as Two Flame Entertainment Limited, which today has grown into a successful and leading record label in Nigeria. The label has to its credit a lot of well-known and successful artists and has encouraged up-and-coming artists into realizing their talent. Don Lulu is also the chairman and managing director of Lotion Towers Constructions Limited, a firm that is into big-time real estate and property development. Lucky Ibokwe was in 2013 appointed the United Nations Mayor of Peace, making him the youngest MOP in southeastern Nigeria in recognition of his effort towards lasting regional and global peace initiatives. In line with the above remarks, friends, relatives, Abia State and the Nigerian entertainment community usually look forward to the birthday celebration of Mayor Lucky Ibokwe, which comes up every June and always lifts the spirit of the lowly and needy in the society, leaving them with an indelible smile on their faces. Over the years, the month of June has remained indelible in the annals of Nigerian entertainment community, friends, and relatives of Don Lulu, as it heralds great philanthropic gestures by the entertainment and real estate mogul. In his June 27, 2018 birthday, which was elaborately marked in his hometown, UMUAHIA, in UMUAHIA North local government area, which had the cream of the Nigerian entertainment industry in attendance, the entertainment guru and United Nations Mayor of Peace officially launched his foundation, the Don Lulu Foundation, with a senator representing Abia Central Senatorial Zone, His Excellency Senator T.A. Oji Uchendu, as the chairman of the occasion. Senator Oji, during the occasion, promised to build a block of classrooms and donate a transformer to the community under the Don Lulu Foundation, in line with the vision upon which the foundation was instituted, which is education. Other aims of the foundation was to provide access to quality education through back-to-school campaign and establishment of the Scholarship Endowment Fund, provision of shelter and housing to the less privileged, widows and widowers empowerment, and the setting aside of a 40 million naira interest-free revolving loan facility to artisans, traders, among other indigent members of the community, in support for a broad range of social and health development programs. The good news is that the distinguished senator, in keeping to his words, had completed the block of classrooms in UMUAHIA Primary School and had also delivered and installed the transformer as promised. He also used the occasion to commission 3 bungalows constructed and donated to the less privileged by the foundation, as well as the startup of the 40 million naira revolving loan facility for empowerment and entrepreneurial training for the youths, the unemployed class, the widows, and the widowers. That time of the year is here again. Despite the global challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic with its attendant economic crunch, Mayor Lucky Ibokwe had outlined a number of humanitarian activities to be undertaken through his foundation, and having placed premium on quality education and human capital development, he has chosen to equip the building donated by Uchendo in UMUAHIA Primary School with modern computers in his foundation's digital inclusion effort. That's a part of the organization's strategy at closing the existing performance gaps between the poor and the rich and the society. The foundation has completed arrangement with a firm on post-pandemic training of youths in special fields with emphasis on technology, forex trading. They will benefit from the revolving fund of 40 million naira as startup seed upon successful completion of the training. This year's birthday will also witness the energizing of the transformer donated by Uchendo through his foundation, and will also assist those who are classified as unemployable to get meaningfully engaged through skill acquisition. This is in continuation of the revolving 40 million naira empowerment fund launched in 2018. The great philosopher Winston Churchill said, and I quote, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give."
That spotlight on Don Lulu at 39, live dedicated to service of humanity, philanthropy and human capital development, was written by Uche Agworo.